the guidance counselor approached me with a letter from the Human Resources Office that they were looking for student assistance for anyone who planned to go to Brunswick College at that time.
Yeah.
And so I applied and I got a job, and I started 1 week to the day after I graduated high school, and I was a student worker. And I knew this is where I wanted to come to college, and so that's what drove me here. Was I also had a job and was able to get to know a lot of the faculty and the staff before I started my classes that August.
That's
So
awesome. So kind of like a 2-in-1 deal.
Yes.
It's awesome. We don't get that as often. So when did you all begin both actually working here at the College of Coastal Georgia?
I started in February 1978, and I started in the Human Resources Department, combination procurement. Back then, Human Resources was called Personnel. Well, when I began in 1978, it was a very small college, very compact. We had a small faculty membership, but then as we grew with buildings and our faculty grew as well, for instance, while I was in general studies, there was a high time we had 150 faculty, but that was part-time and full-time as well. So, and that can keep you busy.
I can imagine.
So, but yes, it was a smaller unit, and now we have really expanded. The expansion is wonderful, and we offer so much to the community and students as well. When I first came here, we were in the process of purchasing what is the Zell Bell Tower. It is no longer standing, but that is one of the first things I remember. And then, you know, other landmarks, of course, are the gates, the designed gates, and new buildings. Yes.
That's great.
I remember when the library had a fountain out front that would work, and it was
It did.
it was really beautiful, and it had lights that would shine, and it just it was a welcoming feature. And then when the library was renovated, I don't remember when they renovated that first time, and that had to be dismantled.
Yes.
And for me, it was just like, it was one of my favorite things because it was beautiful. But you know, I know times change. And then also the bell tower, as Pam indicated, because when I was a student here, the bell would chime. It would chime on the hour.
Yes.
And so you knew if your class started at 9 a.m., if you were not in your seat by the 9th chime, you know, that was not a good thing. So I really do miss the bell tower.
Yes.
It was just an iconic part of our campus.
And it played Christmas music during the holidays.
And you could hear it around town too. Well, we were under the quarter system when I was here, so we came to class a little bit. Instead of like 3 hours a week, they were 5-hour classes, and so you had to meet for that period of time. And it was just wonderful. We were very small. We had no campus center at that time, no student housing or anything. So we just basically had the 4 campus buildings, which were called the academic building. And then the science building is what the Jones building used to be called. And then this building that we're in now was the Allied Health building. And it was a small campus, so it was just so easy to get to and from classes, and you had, you still had time to interact with your friends going and coming. And as I said, that bell tower, when it would chime, you knew you better have your seat taken in class. And
Yes.
because we had one professor who would actually lock the doors when it chimed, because he said if you can't make it to class on time, then just you can wait outside. So
I'll let you go first.
okay. Well, back when I was a student here, we had men's and women's basketball, and we had softball, and I believe that was the only teams that we really had. And so to see that expanding into I don't even know how many teams we have now. I know we have a lot. We even had cross country for a little bit, but the interest just did not get really built up for that, unfortunately. I am not a sports person myself. I can't hit a softball to save my life, but I support it on campus. I had I would say the great honor of working very closely with Dr. Carlton, our athletic director, and his secretary at the time, Vanessa Bell, and I would work at the ball games and the volleyball and basketball games and sell tickets and help with concessions and things like that. So I got to know the athletes. And we had tennis
Yes,
also
we
when I
did.
was here. I'm sorry. And that was wonderful because the majority of our tennis players were from different countries. And so you got to meet people from I mean, I can't even remember all the different places, but that was so
Everywhere.
wonderful to experience just their ways of doing things, and just to even talk to them and hear their voices to me was just so refreshing because their accents, and they thought, of course, that I sounded funny too. I didn't think they sounded funny. But that was wonderful, and then to watch our athletic programs just grow and grow and grow, and I think that that's a big draw for our campus, and I wish that we could get a little bit more student excitement about athletics. I mean, it's still it's more than what it was back years ago because we do have more teams, but actually more community involvement with our sports. If we could get them more involved, I think that would be of great benefit.
Mhm.